A typical day at the Jets office, right? With Gregg Williams getting ousted and his play call yesterday, and Adam Gase getting asked about it yesterday. I mean, around and around and around we go, Brian.
They're always interesting. They may not ever be good, but they're always interesting.
What about the decision to get rid of Williams?
I think it was a no-brainer. Especially, I thought it. I actually turned to the person next to me at the press box when I saw them lining up, and I said, "Oh my God, he's going to blitz." And then the play happened, and you're like, okay, that was terrible. And then when I heard Marcus May say what he said, I said, he couldn't face those players again. I don't think they'd ever believe in him again. Marcus May is as even-keeled a guy as you're going to come across. Like, when he and Jamal were together, we always kind of made the comparison. They were opposites. Jamal was loud, Marcus was quiet. Like, for Marcus to say that meant there was a lot of guys in that locker room that felt the same way and worse. And so I just don't see how the players would have had any faith in Gregg Williams for these last 4 games.
Brian, I think what a lot of people are grappling with this morning is the why. Why did he call that play? Why would he put his players into a position where the success rate seemed like it was so low? Why? And, the answers to that have really ranged from, like, the very simple, this is his ego, this is who Gregg Williams is, to maybe even a little bit to the darker side, like, hey, maybe he had it out for Adam Gase, maybe he's in on the tank, maybe all this stuff. Where do you fall on that very wide spectrum?
On the simpler side, it's his ego. He wanted this to be about Gregg Williams. He wanted this to be a sack of Derek Carr. They ended the game on a sack. Like, what a great call. Instead of just, putting his players in the right position. To me, the argument about, was he trying to, do something to Adam Gase, undermine Adam Gase? He wouldn't do that to his players, Maggie. Like, Gregg Williams does care about his players. He might hate Adam Gase. I don't know that, but I wouldn't debate you if you said that was the case. But he ripped the hearts out of his players yesterday. Like, those guys desperately wanted to win a game, and they had it. They had the game won, and he lost it for them. So I don't think that he would be that devious to do that and hurt his players like he did. I think it was just ego. And this is, I've seen Dan Orlovsky on ESPN and other people making the case, this is who Gregg Williams is, and they showed examples of him calling zero blitzes in similar situations. And I agree with that. The difference this year is his personnel. Like, they're showing clips from the 2010 Like, that was a pretty good defense. You could do it. You could get away with a zero blitz with that defense, maybe. Even in that situation yesterday. But this one, they had 3 rookie cornerbacks on the field.
Yeah.
They had a backup safety in the game. Basically, their third-string safety, if you think about it, because McDougal is on IR, Davis gets hurt, Matthias Farley's in the game. You cannot do that with that personnel in the game. I mean, so to me, it was just him getting caught up ego-wise. And Derek Carr had been rattled by the blitz a little bit before, but you can give up 45 yards on that play and you're good. You just can't give up the 46-yard, and that's what they did.
See, but that's the thing, Brian, where, and I'm not trying to, like, challenge you on it, but it's like, does he care about his players? Because it's still, does. Like, I get that, and I'd hope that that's true. But you put Lamar Jackson out there on an island, and he's the one who, did he think that Lamar was going to be able to get the better of that matchup? It just seems like such a low percentage possibility. It makes, I think it's fair actually to wonder, like, was he thinking more about himself than his players?
Yes, I think that's fair.
Right.
But where I take issue is the people that have the kind of conspiracy theory that, some people were saying it was part of a tanking plan. That, they wasn't.
Or to undercut Gase.
This was him getting ego man or trying to take out Gase. Like, this was his ego getting the better of him. I don't think he thought it through very well. And I think the Jets had a very low opinion of Derek Carr going into that game, and I think they did feel like he would miss a lot of deep passes, and he did the play before. Nelson Aguilar was
overthrew him by 5 yards.
Yeah.
Right, and he overthrew him. And I think they felt like they could take chances in that game against Derek Carr, and he would miss receivers down the field. They knew he was going to kill them with Waller and guys underneath. That being said, like, you just keep giving him chances. Eventually he's going to get one, and he got one there with Ruggs.
The accountability of Gregg Williams, why then no accountability with Gase, Brian?
I think Gase has to be accountable for it. But I will say, I mean, he was the one who had to face the questions yesterday, and he'll face questions again.
Well, no, I guess it's not a matter of just facing the questions. How does Gase still have a job?
Firing him?
Yeah, how does Gase still?
Yeah,
How are we sitting here going into Week 14 now, and Adam Gase is still the head coach of this team?
Well, I mean, from yesterday, if you want to fire him off yesterday, the way the Jets set this up, and this is flawed in my opinion, and this has to be corrected with the next guy. They set it up where Gregg Williams was the head coach of the defense, right? They said that day one, and to me it was stupid. And so, like, some people were like, "Well, Gase, overruled him." Well, Gase hasn't overruled him in 2 years. I'm not sure if he's going to do that with the 10 seconds left in the game. And that's a problem. That's a problem the way it was set up, not really the execution of yesterday. In terms of firing him, Moose, I just don't see what it accomplishes. I think the Gregg Williams firing had to happen because the players had no faith in him after yesterday and spoke out about it. I haven't really gotten that sense about the players with Gase, and I will grant you this year it's hard to get that sense because we're not in the locker room. So it could be there, and we're just not sensing it. But, I mean, Marcus May was on the record yesterday on a Zoom call for everyone to see, ripping Gregg Williams, basically. So there's no way you can keep Williams. I think, I just don't think that the Jets see a point in firing Adam Gase right now. If the roles were reversed and they had the ball at the 2-yard line with a chance to win the game and he called a double reverse pass and they lost, I think he'd be fired today. I do. I think if he cost him a game like that with a single decision, he'd be gone. But I just don't think the Jets feel like there's a point in. He let him ride out the last 4 games, and he'll be gone at the end of the season.